Namaste, salutations, and greetings to all those of you, to my gremlins, and for those of you who are ultimately watching this video. And this video is merely a response in regards to a friend of mine in particular who had mention of how religious people or spiritualists do not particularly celebrate Halloween for the holiday. And ultimately, as myself being a spiritualist, a deep philosopher, and a revolutionary consciousness that we encompass in the journey of our existence, we as in, on the behalf of Genevieve, my fiance, and myself, we devote our inner greater passions in order to dedicate ourselves to the virtues and philosophy of the principles, a system of morality in which that we ourselves believe that we are a conscious collective of the many different aspects of religions of the world together. So we ourselves, we have a philosophy in our devoting in our greater passions to where we believe in the concept of coexist. Now, coexist is consisted of the many different variety of cultures. Coexist, the concept of it, is derived from embracing the many different aspects of religions together. For as long as you believe in a divine creator and a deity, and it's consisted of Taoism, Muslim, of Confucius teachings, Christianity, to Wiccan paganism. So ultimately, our philosophy being that we ourselves, Jen and I, we believe in being a conscious collective of the many different aspects and perspectives of philosophy and of religion. In our spiritual beliefs, in the awakening of our spirituality, we had shared our revelations and our thoughts. We had realized this. However, Halloween, there are so many misconceptions surrounding it, considering of how there are so many people who literally say that it's a holiday that is of pagan beliefs and Wiccan beliefs. So as a result of that, Halloween is supposed to be, or at least it's misrepresented as it being a demonic holiday, which has nothing to do with demonic entities and or the worship of demons, the celebration of Satan or the Antichrist, Lucifer's birthday. It has nothing to do with that. The true history of it, for those of you who may not know this, is that during the, I should say 16th or 17th century, they had, it was during the time of the European medieval era, where, so there were robbers and, people who were thieves at the time, who pirated and were scavengers, who had terrorized the other parts of the villagers. I'm sorry, my sincerest apologies. The other villages at the time. And as a result, they were fed up with it and had come up with the concept for an idea of Halloween, for dressing up in scary costumes, which at the time were people made up burlap sacks to wear as masks and or over their bodies, and they would often apply, well, they had no concept of makeup at the time. Well, they had, but then again, I'm assuming that, well, in a duration of time, had I researched and done my investigation for the historical aspects of it, they didn't really particularly wear stuff like that before. They wore white sheets over themselves and to cover themselves in a scary, a frightening, or intimidating theatrics. in order to have scared off the pirates, the villagers, the other villagers who were trying to ultimately rob them. And also, it's a celebration of where once a year people come together in the world, well, United States anyways, and perhaps any other parts of the world. They have different celebrations of different modifications for Halloween in particular, especially one being for Dia de los Muertos, which is the Day of the Dead and the Mexican holiday, which is a remembrance of your deceased loved ones, relatives, and or those who are close to you in relations or friendships or otherwise, or any other relations or anything related to those the same concept for that. And they would often dress in all black, wearing white face paint, with your face look like a skull basically. So there's absolutely nothing demonic about it. And the celebration of Halloween originally was also meant to be served as a purpose and obligation as scaring away, or at least frightening away, casting out the evil spirits, the demons and ghosts. So it's a complete reverse psychology. It's a complete opposite of what we were led to be misconceived in the misconceptions and deceptions of our, and the arbitrary of the holiday in particular. And it's also a time when families and friends obviously get together to come together to celebrate it, much like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and or whatever else. So with that being said, it has absolutely nothing to do with anything corrupt or evil or malevolent or venomous or cynical or dark and brooding or anything along those lines. It's more meant for a celebration of, it's a festival, much like the Hindu holiday in India. It's one of their major holidays. It's called the Diwali, the Festival of Lights. And the Festival of Lights is a celebration of the triumphant and victory of light over darkness. So in a perspective, that resembles the same as Halloween, if you'd like to perceive it as that. However, the truth of it is, it could be more or less the same or indifferent or similar. One thing I wanted to clarify was that I am a spiritualist myself. A rather a deeper one to conceive it. And I myself, I believe in God. I believe in Christ as being our Savior. I believe that He had existed. I believe of the many different aspects of culture of each religion. I'm a little bit of every different religion of the world that believe in a deity and a God. And I read my Bible every day. So from me celebrating Halloween, that does not make me a demonic worshiper of any kind, or anyone who celebrates Halloween. It does not make them a demonic worshiper. And I wanted to clarify that this is obviously not my Halloween costume, by far. For those of you who know me, obviously would know that this is how I dress on a regular basis. And I own my own little farm and ranch, and this is just who I am as my own individual. And individuality should be practiced on a regular basis. Individuality, you should be proud to be who you are and accept yourselves with open arms to who and what you are. And you should never apologize for who you are, or to coexist your lives to impress others or to be something that you are not. and or to pretend to be something that you're not, or someone that you're not. And I reckon so you have to always be proud of who you are and everything that you are. And at the same time, you have to be someone to balance the center of your walk in the light and be positive, and only focus on the perspective of the positives, the providence, the light in its providence, in its light of providence. And that ultimately you should be able to celebrate Halloween or any holidays regardless of your beliefs, as long as it is for the positive. And by the way, for those of you who say that, you know, Wiccan or paganism is something of an evil, it's not. It's only for the worship of nature, and that's as simple as what it is. You know, it's just the worship of nature. It's the worship of the gratitude of Earth and the environment and the nature all around that surrounds us on a constant basis. It truly is peaceful out here. I always love spending time with nature. Halloween, and we're getting back to what I was saying. So there you have it. Halloween is nothing demonic. It could be celebrated by anyone and everyone if they choose to do so, at the discretion of their own accord and will. And I don't think that's justified or right. I believe that for those who have who believe in the misconceptions, or at least say that they do not celebrate Halloween, whether if it's other Catholics or Christians who say that, I think that's truly disgusting and repulsive, to be honest. And you have no conscience awareness. You have no understanding of different cultures, of historical connections and ancient secrets, or at least ancient traditions, or the history of the cultures of the world as a collective, as a unity. And I do not say this to offend anyone, and it's not intended to degrade anyone or belittle anyone for that perspective. However, you have to be someone to enjoy your life. You know, you have to rise up above within yourselves to appreciate and harness and embrace life for the positives. Now, if you're practicing Halloween for the purpose of, you know, demonic worship, and well, that's your business. I'm not going to judge you for it. However, in my standpoint, through my philosophy, I believe that's completely wrong. And there's no logic, there's no incentive for a purpose that could be found within it, besides, you know, you want to destroy the world and watch it burn. But, however, on the contrary, how about instead of wanting to dismantle, corrupt, or destroy the world, why could we not, as human beings, correlate in a positive correspondence in the correlation of our vital existence through the principles and virtues to harness and embrace the positives of human nature, of our philosophy, of our lifestyle, of our choices that we make? It should always derive from the positives. And throughout the duration of time that you are still alive, you should take advantage of that. And I've learned that through experience. Everything I speak of in our videos, it's what I personally had endured in the duration of my life, and it's what I want to be able to visually share with each and every one of you, so that you may pick up on it and learn and educate your minds, to open your minds. And this is the purpose of this inspiration project, which is primarily to share our common values of our interests, of our influence for the positive, that may we help you to expand your knowledge, expand the horizons of your knowledge, and being able to open your minds for the greater aspects and the positives. So nothing we say is meant to influence you for the negatives. Now, this project in itself is dedicated only in our embrace for the positive. So I hope that this video in itself had inspired you, clarified some things or another, and or it had educated you of the true history of Halloween if you had not known that before. There are so many people, unfortunately, as I pity them, as I pray for them, that have this misguided misconception, this completely irrelevant belief that is insignificant. It's insignificant not because they share a different state of mind or philosophy or perspective or perceptions or the understanding of concept or a different concept of ideas than I do myself, but it's irrelevant because it's for the negative. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's for the negative. It's nothing for the positive. And it's just like saying how you do not want to celebrate St. Patrick's Day because you're not Irish. Oh, come on. This is the purpose of this channel, is to promote and advocate the equality and unity through diversity. And I hope that you understand of different cultures, and if we only ourselves as human beings become more open and welcome to different cultures of the world, then we ourselves, we help to influence others only for the greater positives beyond that of our expectations and limitations of the boundaries of who we are as human beings. We could rise above and beyond something greater and above and beyond what we could even expect ourselves to be. We have so much potentials and talents, and we have so much to live for in this life. But it seems as if we limit ourselves so much on it. And we have to ultimately free ourselves from the boundaries of and limitations of ourselves, as well as you have to be the one to invest that responsibility within yourself in order to contribute to the world, the greater, the ripple effects, the tidal waves of the positives of the world. And only for the positives that are we able to achieve global peace and unity and tranquility. And through us being able to not only expand our knowledge, but embrace our virtues and to accept everyone equally with open arms. So Halloween in itself is something great for the kids as well. It's something great for families, spend time together. And even despite that, you know, you might be a little too old for trick-or-treating or what have you, there's always other fun things to do to spend time with one another. And that's the important thing. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. So thank you for watching, and namaste. Peace in Yahshua. God bless everyone. And I hope that this video had inspired you for the positive. And please subscribe to this inspiration project, which could be found here. And much obliged. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time.